Hello, it's Katherine Russell reporting to you with breaking news at the top of the hour. Recent updates state that a magnitude 9 earthquake occurred earlier today in the northeastern Japan in the town of Hansu on the country's main island. The earthquake struck a subduction zone along the Pacific and Eurasian plate, causing the built-up stress to be released, causing a 10-meter high tsunami wave to be seen in the port of Sandia. The earthquake occurred 15 miles below the surface. Typically, a plate collision is enough to cause an earthquake, though clay found below the plates could be the cause. The slippery clay allowed the plates to slide 50 meters along the fault, the longest in history. Damage is estimated at $300 billion, though the damage could have been much worse had the people not been knowledgeable on the topic. The quake lasted 6 minutes, with the tsunami's first wave coming an hour after the earthquake. The current death toll stands at 15,891, though 2,500 are still reported missing. After the break, we'll catch up with news analyst Gerrin Alexander.
Thanks, Kat. Some things to look at when it comes to the evidence of environmental damage is that more than 5,000 aftershocks continued to hit Japan in the year after the earthquake, with the largest being a magnitude of 7.9. The tsunami also destroyed many buildings, releasing ozone-harmful chemicals into the air, and the surge of water carried an estimated 5 million tons of debris out into the sea. When it comes to the methods of relief attempt, immediately following the disaster, Direct Relief and the Japanese American Citizens League established the Japan Relief and Recovery Fund, committing 100% of all contributions to be used exclusively to help people in Japan in the most productive, efficient manner possible. Now, the tsunami did have many long-term effects to Japan. As of 2015, residents of Japan are still recovering from the disaster. Radioactive water was discovered leaking from a nuclear power plant, which suffered a level 7 nuclear meltdown after the tsunami. Also, about 230,000 people who lost their homes were still living in temporary housing. According to the Japanese government, the total damages from the earthquake and tsunami are estimated at $300 billion, which is about 25 trillion yen. Now here's Gerrin with more information on the topic.
Thanks, Isabel. Kat and Isabel have covered everything there is to know about what happened at the time of the incident. But the real question is, what economic changes have resulted in Japan from the incident? Well, the ensuing damage caused by the tsunami has left thousands homeless and may yet cost Japan its reputation as a center of industry and a leader in the technological field. I say this because factory production ceases during the chaos and damage interrupts commercial progress. Short-term problems like supporting those injured, managing a clean water supply, minimizing the risk of spreading disease, and sending relief to the affected areas aren't the only thing being faced by the Japanese. Long-term issues of rebuilding the Japanese economy along with Tokyo's architectural skyline are currently looming. From this tsunami, one of the U.S.'s greatest trade relationships is under threat economically. Waterlogged fields from the tsunami mean fewer crops, fewer jobs, and the added cost of agricultural regeneration, plus the high-cost reliance on international imports. Over the next couple of years, Japan will have to cope with the fallout from agricultural crop damage, the national cost of supporting the architectural rebuild, the financial impact of low employment rates as businesses struggle to cope with damaged office buildings and a failing system and processes, and on top of all of that, the unmeasurable emotional cost of losing friends and family. Japan is in no financial state to manage such a disaster as this one. Now, to my right, or to your left, I can care less, let's examine some pictures of Japan's tsunami aftermath. So the first picture, in this picture shows that the tsunami caused there to be a communication barrier within families. This picture shows a mother trying to talk to her daughter, who has been isolated due to signs of radiation at a makeshift facility in Nihumatsu, Japan. The daughter is among people evacuated from the vicinity of Fukushima's damaged nuclear plants. In the next picture, it illustrates how the tsunami took lives of many victims. In this picture, the hand of a man killed by the Japan earthquake-triggering tsunami juts out of jumbled concrete sea barriers into Yoma, Japan. And last but not least, this last picture shows that victims of the tsunami did everything they could in their power or needed a miracle in order to survive. This picture shows rescue workers approaching a 60-year-old man washed out at sea clinging to a piece of roofing. As you can see, the tsunami caused a lot of physical and emotional damage to Japan and its people. Surviving the short-term effects of the tsunami is one thing, but surviving the next 10 years or so is another issue entirely. This is Gerrin Alexander reporting live at the scene of the earthquake-triggering tsunami.